So, good morning everybody to our daily live stream. Greetings to our viewers on YouTube and to our viewers on LinkedIn. And welcome to this new morning, a new joint time that we bring together in this next half an hour. I again brought my sip of coffee with my SAP Business by Design coffee cup. We have been thinking about the topic of comparing SAP Business by Design versus S/4HANA Cloud from SAP in an overarching effort to make sense of all this innovation that is going on. Even for mid-market companies, there are so many opportunities today. The only thing is, how do we understand them and how do we digest them and what can we take from it to put it in our practice? And this is what we are talking about in the last days in our live stream. Today I brought something else, which is, I hope you can see, my Signavio pencil. Yeah, so very good pencil. I like it really. Good quality. So if you get a chance to get hold of a Signavio pencil or maybe even multiple of those, take that chance. That is what we're talking about today. And maybe in the future I will also get an SAP S/4HANA coffee cup. I don't know if somebody from SAP is listening, so please send me one. But at least I've ordered a flag. So, as you know, we are doing this as an interactive experience because it's not only that I want to tell you something, but I'm also interested in your opinion. And for that we are using Menti, and I'm inviting you to join there. We will do a poll at the end of the stream. We did some also in the previous streams. So join us on Menti. There's an app. You can join in browser. Take that number 273477026 and then you can enter your answers to the poll later in the stream. Yeah, so yesterday we did a quiz. I asked 3 questions, if they are truth or lie, and you got the chance to answer, to guess if it was right or wrong. And this was the results. So the first question was, Frank was an architect of SAP Business by Design. So obviously that is true, and everybody knew that already. But the second question was maybe a little bit more tricky. It was, the development of SAP Business by Design has been stopped. So, mainly you understand that this is a lie. Yeah, this is not true, this statement. There is a development roadmap. There are very interesting topics on the development roadmap of SAP Business by Design, and it is not limited into the future. So, 5 of you got it right. 1 was of a different opinion, maybe because of misinformation spread in the news. But we'll maybe diving into that topic more deeply in another live session in the future. Let's see. Yeah, and then the last question was, Grow with SAP delivers 2000 scope items for S/4HANA Cloud. So even though there was more diversity in the answers. And so the statement is wrong or a lie, if you want to say so. Okay, 4 of you understood. This is wrong. Why is this wrong? Because Grow with SAP is for the mid-market, a reduced scope of scope items for the mid-market. And therefore, this is not covering 2000 scope items, but only 47. Yeah? So 47 most important scope items for the mid-market. I will dive into that, or I will certainly dive into that in future live sessions in more detail. And also yesterday after the live stream, I was thinking, I used the word scope item I'm not exactly sure if everybody knows what a scope item is, but maybe I'll dive into that also in a future session. Okay, but now about today. So, you all know already what we are doing at AdaPro is focusing on SAP Cloud ERP. Yeah? We use SAP Cloud ERP to leverage for optimizing companies. It is already some statement here which gives us a hint. So we love Cloud ERP and we love the technology, but it's not only the technology. Yeah? We are convinced of Cloud ERP from SAP, especially public Cloud ERP, because that is the beating heart of the company, and only with public Cloud ERP you get the speed of innovation which is today possible. So this is our core belief that we are following since beginning or inauguration of the company of AdaPro and providing to our customers. That is not to say we are going this through the world. So we have some flexibility in our projects. That means we are doing also S4HANA on-premise projects. But if we can, we always prefer Cloud ERP, public Cloud ERP. And we are using it not as a Selbstzweck, as we say in German. Yeah, I don't know how to translate as a self-purpose. I don't know if that word exists. But it's always to be used to bring forward the companies that use it. So for optimizing the companies. And that is why from the beginning we also used business process intelligence. Well, that is a big new word, and we used to name it business process modeling or business process management. In the time back we started with it. Now it's business process intelligence because it's also covering additional new technologies, which is also now developing, emerging, like process mining and process simulation and so on and so on. But the core it's about business processes, and that's actually what the Cloud ERP is also about. So when I remember back in the time when I was at SAP and we considered developing such a new Cloud ERP solution, SAP Business by Design, I always said, okay guys, let us not just develop something, but let us first clarify the business processes from A to Z. Yeah? Why was that? Because I had so much experiences from the old R3 world, and there are many good things in R3 actually, and it's an excellent business process suite as well. But if we had problems, then they mainly came from business processes that are not completely clear, business processes that are not optimized, and so on and so on. So this is the purpose of why companies are buying a Cloud ERP system or any ERP system. Maybe now I say some provoking. If you know me, I'm always very honest in these live streams. Maybe companies do not so much care about if it is a Cloud ERP or an on-premise ERP or something else ERP, but they care about if this ERP solution fits to their processes, and not even fits to their processes, but improves their processes, obviously. Yeah, this is the most important thing that companies want from an ERP system. And it's a little bit like a like a dance. Yeah, you have to find out, okay, it fits to your processes, but maybe there's even a better way of doing this process you are having now. Yeah, like a more innovative way. Yeah, let me make an example. Yeah, earlier in the It used to be to make a tender or a request for quote, and then companies, suppliers are sending in supplier quotes, and then you get them via email, and you get them as PDFs, and you enter them in the system, and so on and so on. So this, for example, was an old process, if you want. Yeah. But today it can be completely different. You have a portal. You have a portal where you can publish your request for quotes, and the suppliers can directly log into the portal. They will enter their supplier quotes into that, directly connected with the original request for quote, and then there's a negotiation ongoing in that portal. So it's a completely different process. Yeah, it's a better process, a more efficient process. And then if a company says, yeah, okay, but I want this old process, yeah, okay, could be a solution. And sometimes it's also necessary because it's a government agency or something like this. But what I wanted to say is, the decision of which Cloud ERP or even which ERP a company chooses depends on the processes. And if they can say with confidence, yeah, we believe this is the process we want to have in the future. May it be our old process, or may it be even a better process for the future. So, you see, it is all about processes. And therefore we leverage Cloud ERP transformation also using best practices. So what is this about best practices? I know for many, or for some, it is also a provoking thought, but let us consider it a little bit. Let us think about it a little bit. So therefore we have put up our, I should say, Cloud ERP business transformation framework. It's always a big word for it, yeah. But this is our approach. This is how we do things. Yeah. Why are we using this? So, and there come different elements together. Yeah. So what we just talked about, for example, was the ERP discovery. Yeah. It was about the phase in which a company is indecisive if they should enter into a new ERP. Or maybe they have several ERP solutions which are on the short list and they want to compare them, yeah, and to understand which is the best one for me. Yeah. So this is the Cloud ERP discovery phase, actually. Yeah. And there are different tools around. DDA, you may know, Digital Discovery Assessment from SAP, which is a very good tool. But there you can, maybe we can dive into that also, but there you can only choose scope items, and then you already have to know what you want. Yeah. So actually most companies need more dive into their processes. What processes do they have? What processes does this ERP solution offer? Yeah. And there we use a certain method, which is obviously supported by SAP Signavio, which we are using to either review the existing best practice processes or even to model the processes of the company that is interested in process and ERP innovation. So maybe so that it is not completely too abstract, let me switch how this could look like. So for example, we have here a process landscape, and this is a package from, in this case, SAP Business by Design, but there are also packages for S/4HANA Cloud. I must say these packages from S/4HANA Cloud are from SAP. Yeah. And this package is from for Business by Design, SAP Business by Design is from AdaPro, from us. So we've built this in the last 13 years in many customer projects, and we have always documented what are the best practices using SAP Business by Design, for example. Yeah. Yeah, and so, for example, this is for, as we say, Kundenprojektabwicklung. Sorry for that not being translated. Maybe I need to ask the Signavio friends how I can translate the title. But this is English, the model itself is English. So we have different modules in that, for example, for sales, for customer, project and service. I hope you can read it. It's always a little bit the challenge to make things big enough with process modeling, but we master that challenge here. Yeah, and here we have this order to cash, for example, for standardized services, order to cash for professional services, and order to cash project for more customers, for example. Yeah? So there are different variants of order to cash. So then we can already discuss with the customer, so which cases do you have, which cases do you need, so what is it about? And if he asks, okay, what is behind it? Yeah, what is there? We can go and drill down into more detail. What possibilities do we have, and make it big? So, for example, this is a simple process. There's a sales representative creating a sales order from sales quote, and there's a possibility if there's a payment request required, yes or no, and then there can be a down payment for order to cash. And then again, there's a service confirmation in sales order and a customer invoice. Yeah, so at least that we already know there might be some roles here: sales representative, service planner, and general ledger accountant. Yeah, so then we can discuss about this process. Is this what you need? We can even drill deeper. Yeah, there are more information behind even the approval process and so on and so on. So now you have a certain understanding of what I'm talking about when I show this slide. So let me go back to that slide again and make that big. This is this Cloud ERP discovery part. Yeah, and already you have seen we have certain packages. These packages are predefined packages of scope items, I would say, or even processes, which makes sense because they are used often together. For example, for professional services in certain industries, in this case professional services. Also we have a package for energy projects, we have a package for subscription billing, and this is for SAP Business by Design. Yeah, and in these packages we have already collected those processes which are often used together in a certain industry. So we can more easily discuss with possible prospects and even use this as a guideline to demo the system to them. We can take these processes and use them to demo SAP Business by Design, for example. Yeah, and then same for S/4HANA Cloud, especially grow with SAP, as you have learned, or as we have learned, this reduced scope items 74. And so the best practice processes for that is coming from SAP, but we have learned in the meanwhile that we have to assemble them in a meaningful way. We have to assemble them in an end-to-end process, and we have to assemble them in certain packages so that they are more easily digestible. It is easier to understand if we have a assembled end-to-end process for Grow with SAP, and this is what we have done also in the last weeks. So be excited. We will certainly be presenting this also, and that is something to consider. But now, after a company has decided for implementing a Cloud ERP from SAP, be it SAP Business by Design or S/4HANA Cloud, then there is this Cloud ERP transformation. And we have also discussed or announced that today I will mention the Cloud ERP transformation and how it is influenced or improved by this business transformation framework utilizing SAP Signavio and the best practice processes. And but I must say this: if you do well in this phase, in the discovery phase, please, then the transformation phase will be easy. If you don't do well in the discovery phase, the transformation phase might be difficult. might be difficult, might be very challenging. So this is, in my opinion, the discovery phase is decisive. Yeah? And I personally think maybe sometimes it is underestimated. Yeah, underestimated, I believe. But yeah, this is why we are always there to help for companies who are open to do a thorough process investigation before they decide for a certain ERP system. And this is also what companies can consider if they are fearful of transformation. Because they might be fearful because they don't know what happens afterwards. So why not do a discovery and understand better and learn more and get more information, and then maybe there's not so much fear but more excitement about what to come and what opportunities we will have with this new ERP. Yeah, so let me also mention this Cloud ERP transformation in itself, because it is not only about systems, and this is what I like in this diagram from Signavio. Thank you for the Signavio friends for that diagram. So we have systems and processes, and they work hand in hand. They must support each other. Yeah. So accelerate the time to scope, which is also a part of the discovery phase. Set the right transformation goals based on business and solution reference architectures. This is exactly what I mentioned some minutes ago. Yeah? Reference architectures, reference packages, which are already successfully used in other companies. And if you can choose between them, then you have obviously an acceleration in the time to scope. And also, then in the project, when you have to configure the system, yeah, reduce the design time by building on best practice examples, process knowledge and models. Yeah, so if we can start such a project and we can demonstrate these processes in the system, then people understand much better what we are talking about, and then it's much easier to find out how we should then configure the system. And also sometimes there comes the moment of truth, yeah, in which people say, okay, I want this completely different, yeah. And then this is very interesting discussions. Maybe we can deep dive into that a little bit in a future live session. But this also happens. This happens. This is the truth. But it's good to know that there is such a maybe diversion from the best practice early in the project, as early as possible. But then after these best practices are chosen, the rest, I would say, in German we say, der Rest ist dann im Schlafwagen. No? So it's like, then after the fit to standard has been completed, yeah, then the rest of the project works out fine. Because then you have the test processes, and then you have everything you need then. Yeah. Yeah. And also accelerate time to insight, drive end-to-end and continuous process optimization with metrics. This is something new. This is this process intelligence, and we will surely talk about that in the future also. But as you know me, as a very honest person, I think this is more like something that's not been completely realized in every companies, or maybe even this whole cycle here is a little bit idealistic. Yeah? This is a little bit idealistic because it's hardly to find any company who has realized this whole end-to-end cycle. But I like still a good idealistic vision, because we have the tools already. Yeah? They are only to be used and put to practice and bring to the street. So it's a good thing. But honestly, mostly what we experience in the projects is this area: accelerate time to scope and accelerate time to design. And also, yeah, accelerate time to implement, because we roll out and change management through innovations and solution recommendations. Yeah, so this is a story for another live stream. So let me speed up because we want to have an interactive part. I make it plain and simple. What does it help to have a process model in a project? It's very simple. The consultant wants to explain the solution. The user wants to understand the system. And for that, this process model gives a precise communication. It's for scoping, it's for fine-tuning, it's for training, it's for test planning, it's for migration plans, it's for workaround, and for extensions. So, I see, because time is running out, let us deep dive into that in another live session in the future. How every phase will profit from that. Only here you have it as an overview. For example, the phase prepare, realize and verify and launch, more precise process selection, identification of gaps, definition of workarounds, clear scope through process map, clarification of integration scenarios. If we have clarified this, then the configuration is much easier. Optimization of roles is a big topic, even for license optimization. Test plans can be derived from processes. Report test progress is easier because it's better structured. And you can more easily define the data migration. And if things are going towards go live, it's very important to have a risk assessment, because managers always get nervous at this point in time. And then it's always better to have a process model and to show them, okay, this problem has this influence or effect, but we can mitigate it by doing this and so on. And then managers are happy because they understand the processes, they understand the risks, they understand the effects of risk, and they understand the mitigations of risks. So that is how different project phases profit from it. So let's come to your opinion. Again, join us on Menti. And I know there's always a little bit lack of time between me presenting and you answering. But the question I ask you is, what are the most critical success factors in Cloud ERP transformation in your opinion? So give us your opinion. You have the possibility now to vote. And I've suggested 7 alternatives: effective change management, reusable best practice processes, fit to standard, predefined packages, robust data migration strategy, seamless integration with existing systems, and strong executive sponsorship. So maybe it's a difficult choice because maybe all of them are important. But that's why I am now interested in your opinion. What is the most important? You can do a sequence. If you log into Menti, then you can enter your first most important factor, success factor, then the second, and then the third, and so on and so on. And by this, there's a certain sequence built. So don't hesitate to vote, to give us your opinion. And certainly I have to also wait a little bit, because there's a certain lag between me talking. Okay, so first votes are coming in. Interesting. I mix my opinion into that also. Yeah. So votes are coming in also. So let me give you a timer. Give you 30 seconds so that you can still vote within that 30 seconds. That's already interesting what your opinion shows. So 5 more seconds. Yeah, so thank you very much for your feedback. So the winner is strong executive sponsorship. Second, fit to standard. Okay, yeah, we can. This is interesting, yeah. And maybe there's a big truth in it, because strong executive sponsorship is necessary if you want to do a good fit to standard. Yeah. This is the whole thing of Cloud ERP. It is about finding a way to find the best standard to do that, what you want to achieve in the company. And sometimes maybe it's important to have that covered by the sponsor, executive sponsorship, because they have to decide to do the standard. Interesting. So reusable best practice processes is third. Effective change management, predefined packages and robust data migration strategy are fourth, fifth and sixth, so all on the fourth place, I should say. And seamless integration with existing systems. That's only a big topic, also a big topic. Thank you very much for your opinion. That was fun. And good. And so time is up for today. Tomorrow we will go on and we will focus on unleashing the power of SAP business, unleashing the power of SAP S/4HANA Cloud modular application portfolio. We have looked a little bit more about SAP Business by Design. Tomorrow we will look more about S/4HANA Cloud and touch on that topic, dive into that, and of course we will not cover everything in S/4HANA Cloud tomorrow, but there's a modular application portfolio overview, and in that we will understand already some things, what this extraordinary SAP Cloud solution is able to provide. So, okay, let me do that. Switch me off, because you cannot read that. I made this error 2 times, and I always say myself, okay, I need to switch myself off here, because you cannot read this title. So I read it again. Tomorrow, unleashing the power of SAP S/4HANA Cloud modular application portfolio. So now it's right, and I hope in the next days I will get it right. So let me switch on the webcam to wave and say goodbye. Thank you for joining, and have a good day. Let us know your opinion, write in the comments if there's something we can improve, and hopefully see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Thank you for watching and participating. Goodbye.